a 4-game weekend. Great to have you with us for Cubs baseball tonight. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs went 2-3 on that trip to St. Louis and Pittsburgh, but they finished it in style with Cole Hamels on the mound.
Yeah, Cole Hamels, the numbers he had put up with the Texas Rangers were not all that inspiring, but last night, this was a Cole Hamels we remember from his days with the Philadelphia Phillies. He was outstanding. Punched out 9. The changeup was dazzling. He had good velocity. We saw 95, I believe 96. Once on the radar gun. So this was vintage Cole Hamels, and boy, what a pickup he will be if he continues to pitch like this.
Brandon Kintzler got into the game in his Cub debut. It happened to be on his 34th birthday. The stuff looked crisp as well. And as we look ahead tonight to the starting pitching matchup, Robbie Erlin, just a couple of starts. He's pitched mostly out of the bullpen. Mike Montgomery looking for a much better result this time out.
Yeah, Erlin's a guy that can give Cub hitters fits, though. He's got a really good changeup. That'll be the challenge tonight, to lay off that changeup. Montgomery, bump in the road last time out. 5 innings, a career high, 12 hits allowed in that loss at St. Louis.
Javier Baez coming off a huge road trip, and the Cubs swept the Padres in San Diego leading into the All-Star break, and he was huge then too. It's Baez and the Cubs hosting Hosmer and the Padres coming up next.
Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Nice early August evening. Actually, the wind has turned around and has cooled things off a bit, which is just ideal. And, no threat of rain tonight. That's also great news. Now the Padres Southwest starting lineup. They've dropped a season high 7 in a row. They were off yesterday. Actually got to Chicago late Tuesday night. Manuel Margot leads it off in center. Will Myers in left. Had a big month of July. Hunter Renfroe plays right. He hit 2 homers against the Cubs in San Diego. Hosmer cleans up. Christian Villanueva makes his Wrigley Field debut. Austin Hedges, a catcher. Freddie Galvis has started every game for the Pods. Jose Perella 8th and the pitcher Erlin 9th.
Offensively, the Cubs feature Ian Happ in left field tonight. Albert Almora Jr. plays center. Jason Hayward is in right. David Bodie gets a start at third base. Russell and Baez up the middle. Anthony Rizzo is your first sacker. Jesse Contreras is doing the catching tonight. And our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is the lefty Mike Montgomery. 30th appearance, 12th start, 3-4 with a 4.03 ERA. His first 5 starts, he was 2-1 with a 121. His last 6 starts, 1-2 with a 5.63.
Shane Livensparger back of the plate. The crew chief is Fieldon Culbreth at first. CB Buckner at second and Angel Hernandez over at third. So 3 of the 4 umpires tonight with a lot of experience at the big league level.
Mike Montgomery is going to come after you with a sinking fastball, curve and a change.
Cornerman in against Margot, and he takes a strike to get us started.
That's a little bit of his issue last time out. Did not get the jump on many of the Cardinal hitters. They made a lot of hard contact against him. Start before that was really good. This is a good club to face when you're coming off a rough one, because they really struggle at or near the bottom in just about every offensive category in the National League, including runs scored.
That's a strike. And the count is 1-2 on Margot. 75 degrees and a northeast breeze at 4 miles an hour. Best record in the National League, the Cubs. Worst record in the NL, the Padres.
Padres 5-20 in the month of July, the second worst month in franchise history.
5-22 in August of their expansion season 1969. The only worst calendar month in Padres history. 3-2 on Margot.
And they are 2-14 in their last 16 games. They've lost 7 in a row. They've lost their last 10 home games. Despite all that, they look to be a pretty happy bunch there in the dugout. It's the nature of baseball. Every day's a new day.
It's Andy Green, their manager, and a chopper to Baez, the second baseman, for the first out.
And we'll give to you in graphic form what Mike Montgomery is going to feature here against these Padre hitters tonight. When he's on his game, he's going to get a lot of ground balls. Pretty good at keeping the ball in the ballpark. And fastball right around 50% of the time, mostly 2-seam sinkers. Curveball perhaps his best pitch. Good changeup, and he'll throw a slider / cutter as well.
Just talking with Jim Hickey, they have worked on that slider. He said the cutter, whatever you want to call it, more slider-ish as they worked in between starts in the bullpen. 1 strike on Will Myers, the left fielder. 1 for 13 against the Cubs in San Diego in July. I guess when you say more sliderish, a little slower, a little more of a break. And that harder,
more
breaking ball.
Yeah, and it's, sometimes it's just a matter of semantics, because one guy's cutter is another man's slider. But generally, a cutter, a true cutter, is only going to move on one plane. It's going to move horizontally across the zone. A slider is going to have horizontal and vertical movement.
2-1 fouled upstairs, and it's 2-2. Only night game of the homestand. 3/120 starts Friday through Sunday. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Cascade Communications in Cascade, Iowa tonight. Welcome. Line shot to Hayward in right. 2 down.
Well, good blow there by Will Myers, but on a line, and Hayward able to hauling in, so 2 quick outs here for Montgomery. This is Mike's 3rd career start against the Padres. He has a 0 ERA against them as a starter. Complete game shutout back in 2015 when he was with the Mariners, and then 6 scoreless last year.
Renfroe with a base hit through the hole on the left side. So he came out hacking, and the Padres have their first hit.
Sounded like he got in on him a little bit, didn't really barrel it up. Renfroe's a strong human. Able to muscle it into left for a 2-out knock.
Yeah, I have a baseball-y question. As Eric Hosmer digs in, he went over and he patted the home plate umpire and the shin guard, did the same for Contreras as he said hello. It feels like most hitters, their first at bat, do that. Is that a recent thing?
I think so. Yeah. You know, there's a real herd mentality in this game. So once somebody starts to see other guys do it, it kind of becomes a thing. Not unlike, you know, pointing at the sky or, you know, the different mannerisms that guys pick up over time. The high five.
Hosmer on an 8-game hitting streak. It's a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, he's one of the ground balliest guys in the game, and it's Mike Montgomery's forte as well, inducing those ground balls. Now, Hosmer has power. When he gets it airborne, he can hit it a long way.
First year in the National League for Hosmer. Former Kansas City Royal. 2 strikes on him. Here's the pitch. Hit the target, but Contreras was set up off the outside.
That's it. Slider you were talking about.
Mike surrendered a career high 12 hits in his last start. Swing and a miss. They get Hosmer on that slider. Cubs coming up when we come back. Five runs per game. Their Southwest starting lineup. Everything changed for Rizzo when he jumped into the leadoff spot against the Padres 3 games before the break. More numbers later. Almora, Hayward, Baez 2-3-4. Contreras a huge night last night. Ian Happ in left. Russell the shortstop. Montgomery batting 8th with David Bodie 9th.
Padres defensively on this lovely evening. Manny Margot plays center. He's a good one. Big arm on Hunter Renfroe in right. Will Myers plays left. Villanueva is the third baseman. Freddie Galvis really good there at short. Perella Hosmer on the right side of the infield. Hedges behind the plate. lefty Robbie Erlin on the bump.
Left matchup. And Rizzo with a soft liner to Renfroe for the out. The leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Rizzo had gotten a hit, Benny's would donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and we'll give it another shot tomorrow afternoon.
And the Lexus Experience amazing starter for the Pods, Robbie Erlin. I showed you his numbers earlier in just 2 starts, and so not much of a sample. Those weren't good, but overall he's having a nice year as he comes back from Tommy John surgery, a 3.47 ERA. Look at those walk numbers. Just 6 walks issued, 59 2/3 innings.
1-0 on Almora. 1 for 17 over his last 6 games. Average down at 306. I've been used to seeing him up in the 320s for quite a while. Now 1-2. Yeah, Erlin missed almost 2 full seasons coming back from elbow reconstruction.
He's actually the longest tenured Padre. Made his debut here April 30th of 2013. Longest tenured pitcher for the Pods. So he's more of a crafty type left-hander. Not going to blow you away, that fastball. More sinkers than 4-seamers, and it'll be 90 to 92. Changeup is his best pitch. Also has a good curveball, and occasionally he'll use the slider as well.
Hit hard on the ground, but right to Galvis. And fire across for the out. We'll bring up Jason Hayward with 2 outs and nobody on. The Brewers lost in extra innings on a Yasmani Grandal home run last night as the Cubs were flying home from Pittsburgh. So the Cubs back atop the division by 1 game. They were tied going into action last night. One more game for the Brewers. LA, and it'll be Jhoulys Chacín against Clayton Kershaw later this evening.
Kershaw's been really throwing the ball well, and so has Chacín. Chacín's a 10-game winner.
Too close on Hayward. 1 ball, 1 strike. And working quickly. He's ahead now, 1-2. 3 hits, 2 doubles for Hayward. And the go-ahead RBI on a ground out in the first inning last night. If he gets something toward the outside here, a late swing, he's probably going to hit another double on the left field line. Not meant to be, as Erlin goes quickly 1, 2, 3 in the first on 11 pitches.
We are back at Wrigley with this Miller Lite game report, and Cole Hamels in his Cubs debut couldn't have gone much better, striking out 9 over 5 innings of work. And Hamels this afternoon getting settled into his new digs here at Wrigley, and pretty excited about it. Posted this right here, and you see Albert Almora Jr., his locker mate, liking it, and these guys having a lot of fun as he settles in, and certainly excited to be here. But guys, he came over and used the trash can in our photog weld, and I told him that might have worked in Texas, but you know, not here in Chicago, right?
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, don't let him cramp your style down there.
Grounder to David Bodie. And he'll get Villanueva for the out.
It was a very neat locker. Strikes me as a neat locker guy.
Just about everybody on the DL through today. We'll have more from Kelly on that later, including Brandon Morrow, who played catch for the first time in a couple of weeks. Austin Hedges, the catcher, takes a strike.
Padres as a team batting .231. That's next to last. The Mets batting .228.
Yeah, they're last in the majors in runs per game, 3.68. Tied for 27th in home runs. Second most strikeouts. They don't walk a whole lot. They do steal bases. And Bodie tried to time the leap, and he just missed it.
Yeah, the timing looked good. Just a little too high for him to haul it in.
So a 1-out single for Hedges. Former Cub Matt Stairs, the Padres hitting coach. So back in uniform after doing some broadcasting for the Phillies. Now the switch hitting shortstop Freddie Galvis. And he takes a strike. We are in a stretch now. The Cubs with 4 consecutive left-handed starters for the first time since 1966. Jose Quintana will pitch tomorrow. He'll be the 4th straight southpaw. That's past a diving Bodie. Hedges on his way to third. Galvis towards second, being trailed by Rizzo, but no throw there. It's a double. And the Padres have a 1-out threat, 2 in scoring position here in the second.
Hedges just beyond the reach of Bodie over the top, and this time Galvis solid contact down the line, and Bodie another good effort. Can't flag that one either. The good news is they're at the bottom of the order, 8-9 here for Montgomery to deal with.
Jose Perella, the second baseman. The Cubs maneuvering their infield. Bodie will go back with Russell and Baez. Rizzo way off the bag at first, but he could throw home. Open stance for Perella. A lot of movement as he gets ready to hit, and he takes low on a fastball. The Padres, I mentioned, got here Tuesday. A rare Wednesday scheduled off day on the Major League calendar. Bounce back to Montgomery. They got Hedges in a pickle. Bad throw by Montgomery, but a good play by Bodie.
Just run him.
And Russell tags him out, so it'll be second and third, 2 outs.
Well, that was kind of ugly. Edge's ability to stay in the rundown long enough allows that back runner to move into scoring position, so nothing really lost there for the Padres.
1-5-2-6.
Does a nice job cutting him off, and then just tried to kill the clock there, I guess. Wilson doesn't need to make that last throw because Travis had already gone to third base.
It'll be Erlin, who is a right-handed hitter. 1 for 7 on the year with 2 outs. Curve for a strike.
Pretty nice play by Bodie to pick that,
wasn't it?
That throw from Montgomery.
That's the last thing you're expecting on a throw, is that it's bounced. Strike 2. Curve changeup to start the sequence. In the dirt that time on a curveball. He's throwing the kitchen sink at Robbie Erlin.
Yeah, and I think Erlin probably handles the bat a little bit, and there's 2 runners in scoring position, so that's going to change your mindset a little bit. You're just going to channel fastballs. You might if there were nobody on base.
Next 1-2 is high. That time a fastball. Scoreless tie, second inning. Erlin does a nice job to stay alive. 49th career start for Mike. Made 90 career relief appearances. Cubs have him under contractual control for several more years after this. Now he's gone full. That's the thing. Mike is 29 years old, but he started this season with only 2+ years of major league service time. Called strike 3, and a pitch right on the corner, and they strand 2 in scoring position. 0-0 early. Time for our high-speed action powered by Xfinity. Drew Smiley A simulated game. It was a busy afternoon here at the ballpark with some rehabbing pitchers. So just taking incremental steps to hopefully soon head out on a rehab assignment and be back and make his Cubs debut.
Hey, that's another good band name. Rehabbing pitchers.
Well, who did we just see the other night? Stephen Brault could.
Yeah, front set band. Hey, this Sunday it'll be the finale of this set with the Padres. Game time 1:20 and up to the first 5,000 early arriving kids 13 and younger will take home Cubs baseball wristbands presented by MasterCard. After the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. For more details, visit Cubs.com.
Nice big crowd on hand tonight, and a good ovation for Javier Baez.
That's another new one too. The nod to the pitcher from the hitter.
Right. Extra base hit and an RBI in his last 5 consecutive games. So that would bode well tonight. He had a big series in San Diego in July, knocked in 6, hit a homer, 2 doubles. Let's see what he did on the road trip. Really leads the league with 83 knocked in. Swing and a miss on the changeup. He's playing second base tonight.
Erlin's 2 starts came much earlier this year, but he has had a number of relief appearances where he's been stretched out. Padres would love to get 5 out of him here tonight.
On the ground to Perella. Here comes Wilson Contreras, and I'm guessing he'll do what we talked about earlier. He already said hi to the umpire and Hedges, so I guess he doesn't have to do the tap on the shin guards.
He's got more important matters. He's trying to get comfortable in the box there. There's the nod to the pitcher. It's like fencing. On guard.
And we were all over it last night. He was very hitterish. 3 for 4, double homer, walk, 3 knocked in.
Yeah, he looks really confident in the box. The bat speed was most impressive.
Yeah, outside on a curveball.
Hitting a .314 with a .962 OPS in his last 12.
Lofted to right. Wind is blowing in from that direction as Renfroe hauls it in.
Pretty good swing there, just a little bit behind that one, and that's what the Erlin changeup will do. Tell yourself to stay back. You're a little late on the fastball, even though he's not a power guy.
Switch hitting Ian Happ playing left. Erlin is from Scotts Valley, California. It's about 30 miles south of San Jose. Drafted in the 3rd round 2009 by the Rangers. He had committed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo before signing with Texas. Traded to the Padres in 2011. I have not been to Scotts Valley, but I'm sure it's beautiful. It's near Santa Cruz, mountainous region.
Yeah.
Nothing after 2 from beautiful Wrigley. hold true moment later on in tonight's game.
I wonder what it'll be.
That's the fun part. 3 hits in the ball game, all belonging to the visitors through 2 innings.
I didn't see Manny Margot when we were out in San Diego. He was dealing with a sore wrist.
He starts the 3rd with a base hit.
He finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. He's got some pop in his bat. He has speed. He had a couple minor league seasons with over 40 steals. He has swiped 10 this year.
Didn't he make a couple of starts in that series?
Did he?
I thought he did.
Okay.
Maybe it was the previous time we missed him.
Maybe it's the other Manny Margot I'm thinking of.
It might have been. Now I'm curious.
You probably did. My memory is such. Clearly, he didn't leave an impression.
No.
Maybe it was just the first game. There was something about Margot and his wrist that was top of mind for me.
All right. Well, there you go.
Look, wearing the oven mitt.
There's visual evidence. Yeah. I'm not doubting that he had some wrist issues. I just thought I saw him play.
I would be inclined to take your word for it on such matters.
So he started twice in that series. But it didn't look to me like his wrist was 100%.
Maybe it was. Maybe I'm thinking of Franchi Cordero.
That might be it. He was not available. He was on the DL.
I'm just going to start naming Padres that I know did not play in that
series.
series.
Yes, did suffer a forearm injury and are likely done for the year. I think we've located that mysterious Padre.
I don't believe Bip Roberts played in that series.
Tell you what, I was going to say Contreras is going to throw to first at some point. Margot is way off the bag when that ball gets to the plate.
Yeah, what happens with the lefty on the mound for a guy who can run a little bit, he will shorten up his initial lead. Then he wants to get an aggressive secondary, and that makes him vulnerable to the pick from Contreras. He slipped a little bit. Made his way back to first base. As I mentioned, 10 steals this year, but he's been caught 7 times, so has not been very efficient. If you're Andy Green, I think you would try to push some buttons.
On the inside corner, well located. It was kind of fun when you have these matchups. December 9th, 2012. Mike was traded by Kansas City with Will Myers to the Tampa Bay Rays. That was the Wade Davis James Shields trade. That'll hold up for Happ.
Cub fans, everybody in. Your best chance to catch a game during the Washington Nationals series would be Sunday night. That's August 12th. Watch the Home Run Derby rematch at Wrigley Field. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com. Nationals starting to turn things in the right direction.
Yeah, and they have an early lead tonight, 7-2 over the Reds in the 4th inning.
So Scherzer night for the Nats.
Suarez has homered his 25th for Cincinnati, and 2 RBIs. That ties him now with Baez. Both have 83 on the year. Series in Boston kicks off tonight. Yankees and Red Sox. 4-2 New York. Bottom 4 there. Sonny Gray goes to the bullpen after another rough start yesterday.
They're going to put newly acquired Lance Lynn into the rotation.
Outside. 1-2. Jay Happ goes to the DL. Hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's going around.
It's a third guy, right?
I think, yeah.
Anthony Bass.
Yep.
Syndergaard, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And now Jay Happ. Runner takes off, pitches high, the throw is on the money. Well, it's fun from our angle, high atop Wrigley Field, to watch that develop, and you could just see Contreras was going to get him. And you know how good Baez is with that quick tag.
Yeah, and he got a pretty good time. He didn't have a huge lead, but he got a nice break. And he got the top speed in a hurry, but it was a good pitch to handle, and the throw could not have been better. Could not have been better. Right on the spot.
I'll tell you, we talk about the most exciting plays in baseball, and triple and inside the park home run. That's an underrated one. The caught stealing on the perfect throw and tag.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I don't know if we can freeze it right when Contreras gets rid of the ball. Right there, basically. I mean, it took a perfect throw to get him.
Can't outrun the ball is the old cliche.
Oh. It's a work of art.
And Javi was doing the point as he caught the ball.
(3-2) on Hunter Renfroe. Ground ball to Bodie at third. That's it. So he's worked around 4 early hits. Cubs bat in the third, scoreless. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Wilson Contreras capping a great night offensively last night in the Cubs 9-2 win with his 9th home run of the season.
just such an explosive athlete.
Strike called on Madison Russell. 6 Cub batters have come to the plate. They've all been retired by Robbie Erlin. Just missed the outside.
Working quickly, throwing strikes with all of his pitches.
Luis Perdomo recently put on the DL with a shoulder issue. Eric Lauer with a forearm. And the curveball is rolled to Perella for the out.
Country superstar Luke Bryan is bringing his What Makes You Country tour to the friendly confines Saturday, September 1st. Opening acts include Sam Hunt, John Party, and Carly Pierce. Tickets on sale now at Cubs.com/concerts. Wasting no time at all. That curveball put in play 77% of the time it's on the ground. That's a huge weapon for him.
As the jump on the pitcher Montgomery. 2 strikes to Mike. Strike 3. Strikeout number 3, all swinging for Erlin.
Well, if he stays true to form, he'll get an out in the air here. He's had 1 on the ground, a punch out, and 1 in the air in each of the first 2 innings. He's going to go through David Bodie to get it. Nice year. 340, obviously limited time, small sample, but big numbers.
Last game here at Wrigley Field, David hit a dramatic game-tying home run against the Diamondbacks. And then Anthony Rizzo followed that with a game-ending home run. 340 through his first 24 career games.
Here's a fun fact for you. His average exit velocity is 95.4 miles per hour. That ranks 2nd in Major League Baseball behind Aaron Judge.
I like it.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. We're filtering for 40 balls in play. And in terms of hard hit balls, and they judge that as 95 miles per hour or higher off the bat. 58% of the time he does that, and that's number 1. He's a hard-hitting young man.
In his 5th stint this season with the big league club.
Don't know that that's predictive of anything. It's just pretty small sample.
Hit pretty hard. Gloved by Galvis, and the throw dug out at the other end by Eric Hosmer. Erlin's been sharp early on. 0-0 to the 4th.
Museum and Harry Carey's at Water Tower Place combined to create Chicago's ultimate sports entertainment and dining destination. The sports fans and foodies alike will appreciate this sports playground on the Magnificent Mile. For more information, visit harrycareys.com.
I saw the top of your head. Eric Hosmer leading off the Padre fourth. Mike Montgomery and Robbie Erlin. 3 scoreless innings apiece. Montgomery has given up at least 1 hit each inning, but no runs. 2-0 on Hosmer, who inked a long 8-year contract to join the Padres. And a rebuild. We're looking at next year, maybe the year after that. They've got a huge farm system. They made 1 deal in mid-July, sending their closer Brad Hand and Adam Simber to the Cleveland Indians, but they did not make a trade on deadline day earlier this week. And reading about their 40-man roster, it's pretty packed. They'll have some decisions to make before the November deadline in terms of the Rule 5 and all that stuff. So,
yeah, you look at those top prospect lists, and there's a slew of Padre farmhands in there. The future is bright.
They were in on Chris Archer before the Pirates got him. Close play. Out at first, says Field and Culbreth.
Yeah, this got close here at the end. Shovel pass, but they got him. No challenge coming.
Well, Christian Villanueva, former Cub farmhand, playing at Wrigley Field for the first time. He homered and had 4 hits in that series in San Diego against the Cubs. The series the Cubs swept, outscoring San Diego 23-14. One thing I've noticed, we talk about trends and how things start and a lot of guys start to do it. The C flap has become rather ubiquitous. Most guys wear the C flap and it looks like that. Maybe we can compare a little later. I think Contreras, his is a little lower, so there's a little more exposure, but I'm guessing Wilson kind of felt he needed better sight line through that. The hole. You see Villanueva's got his almost covering his mouth. It's becoming like the hockey visor. There's probably going to be a point where you'll be required to wear it.
The guys would be wise to start wearing it in the minor leagues just to be comfortable with it.
Fouled out of play.
Nueva has been good against lefties. .313 batting average. 13 of his 19 home runs have come against left-handed pitching, hitting just .176 against righties.
High drive out into deep center. Back on the warning track is Almora, and he's got it. It's probably a home run around 4 o'clock, but as I told you, about 5:40 or so, the wind turned around. It really cooled off the ballpark, and it was not necessarily a hitter's night. So it's Hedges with 2 outs. Hard hit ball into center. So he's 2 for 2.
Hey folks, there is still time to plan a group outing for games in August, especially for the series with the Reds, and the Mets. It will be the homestand at the end of the month. The Cubs offer ticket packages that include special perks for groups of 15 or more. To book your group experience, visit Cubs.com/groups.
Hey JD, I just got a tweet from our buddy Doug Glanville. He said, I'm going to have to rank the base stealer making it safely ahead of getting caught higher on the excitement scale. Quote, not sure why I feel that way. So we were praising Contreras and Baez earlier.
Yeah, everybody comes at it from their own perspective, don't they?
Yeah. If you're a base stealer, you don't like that play.
Exciting about that.
Galvis, a two-hopper to Bodie. Quick exchange, and that's it. So the Padres, again, a hit in every inning, but still have not scored.
NBC Sports Chicago is looking for the biggest Cubs fan to appoint as the next Cubs authentic fan of the game. Someone who supports the team through thick and thin. Perhaps you wear a giant championship ring on your head. Do you have what it takes? Enter at NBCSportsChicago.com/CubsAF.
How heavy do you think that is?
I'm going to go with light. I'm going to go with there's a lot of deception going on there. Maybe Kelly could track that guy down and try that on for us.
Shouldn't be difficult to find. Rizzo made an out on the first pitch in the first inning. He was slumping going into that San Diego series in mid-July. Became the leadoff hitter, and he's been terrific since, hitting over 350.
It was mid-July and he just hit town and his bat was dry. So it's somewhat counterintuitive because moving to the leadoff spot. Well, Anthony, he's patient, he takes walks, but really what he's done, he's been really aggressive. He's hunting strikes, he's hunting fastballs, and when he gets one, he's taking a rip at it. He's just not missing. He's been covering everything in the zone.
StatCast AI is powered by AWS. Look how far off the plate that was. And if he doesn't swing at it, it probably hits him. Instead, he hit himself.
Checking up a little bit now. Padres shift in the outfield, move the other way towards left center with Margot.
Nolan has to scamper over and cover the bag. Seem to use scamper a little more often once the NFL preseason starts. Just kind of becomes part of the vocabulary. Sounds like a football term, doesn't it?
Yeah. Scamper.
Here's Almora.
You know, the other football jargon that is leaked into baseball is the both sides of the ball.
You don't like that.
No.
That's one of your pet peeves.
Big fan of the both sides of the ball.
Although you could make that analogy.
Well, sure. There's offense and defense.
Pitched on one side of the ball, and then the other side, they're trying to hit it.
But you know, in football, when they line up, there's the ball, and there's one team on this side and the other team on that side, and so both sides of the ball makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you don't hear both sides of the puck.
Not yet.
Floated foul as the Cubs are still looking for their first hit. First base runner, in fact. Erlin has not had to work out of the stretch.
Padres, they've never thrown a no-hitter in their history. Come close a few times.
They're the only franchise without one. A couple of years ago, they had their first cycle. I think they've had two now. More in the air, pretty well hit, but again, not tonight. They'll go with two hands on it. Tonight's NBC Sports Chicago Bar of the Game, presented by Miller Lite, is Gators Wings Shack. If you aren't heading to Wrigley Field, watch tonight's NBC Sports broadcast at Gators Wings Shack. To see the complete list of the bars of the game, presented by Miller Lite, visit NBCSportsChicago.com. Jason Hayward, 2 outs, nobody on. And the ground's foul past a former Padre, Will Venable. Now Jason wears that C flap because he got hit in the face, and suffered a broken jaw. I want to say 5 seasons ago as a member of the Braves.
The one you were talking about. Let it get deep and shoot it the other way. A couple of doubles last night in Pittsburgh. It's beautiful sky.
Yeah. That's a Bob Ross painting.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we'll put a little cerulean blue up there and just play around.
This is going to be a tough play. Erlin over, and he's safe. Hayward with an infield hit.
Tough way to lose a no-hitter, but hang with them. Whatever it takes for the Cubs to get going here. Chopper. We need a little more urgency on the part of Hosmer there.
No challenge coming. He beat it.
Erlin actually may have gotten the foot down on the bag first, but he didn't have the ball yet.
He's got to deal with Baez on the stretch for the first time. Short lead by Hayward in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Erling's 3rd start of the season. He's thrown more relief innings than any guy in the Padres bullpen.
Yeah, he had 1 out in over 5 innings. Maybe changing their expectations over there in the Padre dugout, though. I said earlier they'd be thrilled to get 5 out of him, but the way he's gone along here tonight, maybe they'll get more.
2-1. Cardinals got a couple in the ninth and beat the Rockies today. 3-2 in St. Louis. Jason Shreve got the win. A blown save and a loss for Wade Davis. He gave up those 2 runs. 5th blown save of the year for the former Cub. It was a Jose Martinez 2-run single that won it. Villanueva will take the short play at second. Cubs get their first hit, but still haven't scored. Neither of the Padres through 4. And get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Four-game homestand before the Cubs hit the road to Kansas City for 3 early next week.
Kansas City was in town playing the Sox.
Red Sox beat them today 6-4
in dramatic fashion. Blew the lead late and then came back and beat them. These pitchers throwing zeros so far, and first pitch strikes has been a big part of the formula. Montgomery 12 first pitch strikes out of 16 prior to that ball one. Erlin has thrown strike 1 to 12 of the 13 men he has faced.
One ball to the shortstop, Russell. Varela is out. Book your summer getaway today to Chicago or DC and let us do the planning for you. Cubs Destinations travel packages include tickets, hotel accommodations, ballpark tours, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with a current player. For more information, visit Cubs.com/destinations. Erlin with a base hit. And if you're a half glass full Cub fan, be thankful that it happened in the 5th and not in the 2nd. Well, it might be 2-0.
That explains why Mike was pitching him so tough last time with the breaking balls and the changeups. Good looking swing. This is the country singer matchup. Montgomery Erlin. You could go with Erlin Montgomery. Either way.
I'm ashamed to admit I don't get the reference.
Doesn't it just sound like a country singer's name?
Okay. Yeah. I thought there was literally a Montgomery Earl.
No.
Waylon Jennings and Montgomery Erlin. Yeah.
Hey, put on that Erlin Montgomery CD, would you?
Strike called on Margot. Margot just 23 years old.
Padres are happy to probably to get on the road. They're losing their last 10 at home, just a change of venue, chance to reset. As you mentioned, off day yesterday. They're here for 6 days. Their next series is in Milwaukee. They have Monday off as well. They're going to travel Monday night from here to Milwaukee.
That will drop for a hit. So the Padres with back-to-back singles. Well, that's rare to spend 6 days in one city. And we often talk. I don't know what ultimately it means in terms of on the field, but you'd have to think, coming to Wrigley Field. Packed house all weekend. Teams theoretically get up for a series like this. We know Mark Grant's excited to be home and see his family in Joliet. Working with the great Don Orsillo next door. Dangerous spot here. Myers bounces foul.
Weren't the Twins here all week? Because didn't they have White Sox Cubs on that one road trip? Or I know they were here for an extended stay.
They did White Sox, Cubs, Brewers. Yeah, so very similar.
Yeah. And I know that trip that the Twins had a lot of their families were with them. That may be the case with the Padres too. Chicago, a very popular destination for the wives and the kids. Well, this is a dangerous situation here, the way Erlin's going along. A couple guys on for their best power threat.
Myers with a couple of DL stints this season. Missed 64 games total. Big July, 7 homers, 23 RBIs. Originally a catcher. Played the first base, the outfield, and there's some talk about possibly down the road adding third base to his toolbox. It's Mark McGuire, the bench coach for Andy Green.
Well, the comp I always give for Myers, he reminds me so much of Dale Murphy.
Yes,
his stature.
He looks like him.
Yeah.
The picture on the scoreboard, I just thought, yeah, it looks like Dale Murphy.
Just a just kind of country strong, broad-shouldered, real strong hands.
Double play chance. They turn it. And the Padres finished in the 5th. Still 0-0.
did some investigating reporting here. This is Joey. Joey, your hat is just going up right now on Twitter. I mean, you have become viral. Why don't you tell us how'd you do this? This is just styrofoam?
I'm the buddy named Ryan. Hats, made a few hats for the Saints, and when the Saints won the Super Bowl, as soon as the Cubs won the World Series, I said, Ryan, I gotta have a hat. So he spent about 40 hours taking some styrofoam, molding it together and bedazzling it, and we've got Cubs wearing hat.
Okay. So do you mind if guys, it's not that heavy. What do you think?
Very stylish.
It looks dynamite. It looks great.
Thanks, Kelly.
You can put some Jiffy Pop in there.
So 0-0 as Bobby Erlin will face Wilson Contreras in the bottom of the 5th. One hit for the home team. That was an infield single by Hayward in the 4th. 11 in a row retired by Erlin to start the game. Curveball misses in tight. Swing and a miss. Opened the throttle on that swing. Happ and Russell to follow.
Trying to make up for lost time, having missed the better part of 2 seasons. And now getting an opportunity to start. This is where he was trending before he got hurt. He'd been mostly a starter. The nature of this game, a couple guys get hurt, you get an opportunity, you perform, you got a chance to stay in there.
Yeah, you have to think right now the Padres rotation is the land of opportunity. In the air, foul territory. Hosmer over near the tarp, and the ball ends up being a souvenir.
He goes soft and hard, whether it's a changeup or the curveball. Then he'll throw that fastball up, sometimes in. He's giving the Cubs hitters an awful lot to contemplate. Both sides of the plate. And again, he's not overpowering, but he's got a decent fastball.
Ball 4. You can follow our Cubs insiders on NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. So the leadoff man has reached.
Just the 7th walk that Erlin has issued this year.
Swing and a miss by Ian Happ.
Yeah, so that late on that fastball right there, that's up a little bit at 92. I mean, these guys are used to having to try to hit 97, 98. So that tells you a couple things. One, he's got a good changeup, so staying back is in the hitter's mind. And 2, there's some deception in the delivery. A little bit of a short arm, sneaky fastball.
Strike.
Turn the clock back a few years, you might think about Bruce Hurst, a crafty lefty.
Yeah. He pitched for the Padres, didn't he? After a long stint with the Red Sox. 1-2. Field around toward right on Happ. That one's 1-2 and nicked it. And hangs in there. That has been efficient. Just over 60 pitches here in the 5th inning. Mason Ross tomorrow and Jose Quintana. Ross a right-hander.
Nine-man bullpen for the Padres, 7 righties and a couple of lefties. As I mentioned earlier, Brad Hand is gone.
He got him. It's the first out here in the 5th.
The time he struck out Ian, you can see Happ just in between. Getting fastballs when he's looking soft. Getting off-speed pitches when he's looking for the heater. Kirby Yates probably will be the guy who'll get most of the closing chances for the Padres with Hand gone.
They haven't had a lot of those chances.
No.
With the 7-game losing streak.
Yeah, I don't know if Andy Green, who's in his 3rd year managing this club, is a have a meeting guy, but this is, when you're on a bad club and you're going through this kind of a stretch, normally when you start to pull everybody together and have a little chat, say, look, boys, we got a couple months on the calendar yet. Continue to push.
Just kind of reading about their club. You know, whether this matters or not, but what they're saying is, so long July, right? Their idea is we'll hit the reset button. We're nothing in August.
Yeah,
they went 5-20 in July. So if that's what it takes,
yeah, you have to play those mental games as a club and as a player. It's artificial. Nothing changes
new
from
series,
1 month to the next, but you create that a line of thinking.
2-0 on a struggling Addison Russell.
I had a teammate in the minor leagues who did it by at-bats. Every 25 at-bats. His goal was to go 8 for 25, but once those 25 were over, he would start fresh. Because you don't want to carry that baggage around with you when you're scuffling.
So then when he would go 10 for 25, would he add +2 to the next?
No, because that 25, that package is done. That was nice, good work. And start all over again.
One extra base hit in this game, a double by Freddie Galvis. 3-1 to Russell. Cubs held to just 1 hit so far. The Padres have 7 against Mike Montgomery, but he has not allowed a run.
Good swing, good pass at it there. He's been a little tentative during this stretch and maybe a little bit too much on the ground to the full side. He hit that double to right center in Pittsburgh the other night. Look back at his month of June, it was really good, and there was a whole lot of that going on. Staying on the ball, driving it the other way.
Runner takes off, little floater, should drop. It will. Contreras to third. And the Cubs have the go-ahead run 90 feet away. With 1 out, it's the pitcher Montgomery coming up.
Exactly, drive this one the other way. Off Off the end of the bat, a little floater gets the job done. Safety squeeze territory for the Cubs.
Cornermen ready to charge if needed. Mike wasn't square. Ball one. A strike called. So Hedges come out of his crouch. Jose Castillo, a left-hander, up.
Villanueva not really creeping in aggressively from third base. That forces Contreras to shorten up his lead a little bit. If you do bunt here, it's not an automatic go situation for Contreras.
Gotta figure bunt now, right? Don't want to ground into a double play. Strikeout is not the worst thing in the world, but David Bodie on deck. Just don't want this inning to end with this at bat. But the tops one back to the mound, throw to second, one, throw to the plate, out, and the inning is over. Freddie Galvis throws out Contreras. Wilson thinks he's safe. The Padres are running off the field, but Joe will want to look in the video room. Risky play by Erlin. That was a strange play, to say the least.
Yeah, that was a remarkable play. Unbelievable they were able to get 2 outs on this ball.
I've got 1-6-2. And Joe's going to challenge it.
Tag looked a little late, a little high. Pulls back the left hand, he's safe.
I don't think he ever got him.
I don't think he got him.
And if he did, it was way at the end.
It looked like Wilson got the plate with his right hand. Can't say that for sure, but it appeared to be the case.
So the other question is, did Hedges get him on the hand on the first swipe, right? The left hand, if he didn't, he's safe. And I don't see that he did.
And that's the first look where it looks like Contreras definitely slapped the back corner of the plate. The previous 2, it appeared that he did, but there wasn't enough there to convince me at least.
Now the call on the field was out. The way it used to work, you had to really have overwhelming evidence to overturn it. It feels like that has loosened a little bit in the last year or so. So it's just kind of a jumble with the catcher's mitt and the left hand. And I don't see an actual tag right there. Do you?
No, the very first look we had at it, it looked to me like he was trying to tag the left hand, and then Wilson was able to pull it back.
We're going to get our answer here. Huge call in the 5th inning. Either inning over, scoreless tie, or 1-0 Cubs. Inning continues. Cubs lead 1-0. So that'll be an RBI fielder's choice for Mike Montgomery. Great effort by Galvis. I didn't think he had a prayer to get Contreras.
Now that kind of a ball,
base.
normally the pitcher, that kind of ball, high chopper like that, you're going to check that man back to third base and then just get it out. In all likelihood, probably at first base.
David Bodie.
The added benefit too of Erlin having to stand around and wait before making a pitch.
Inside, ball one. Your thought here, Erlin looks Contreras back, throws to first, right?
Well, he would take a little more time to make sure he's going back to the base. The other plays with Montgomery running, it was just a 1-6-3 double play. I don't know if that was available to Galvis or not.
I don't think it was. I think no. Mike was well down the line. I think Galvis made the right decision. The other question I have is this: with all the acrobatic swing moves we've seen to elude tags, are catchers and other defenders going to get more aggressive in going after a runner? In this regard, once the ball's in the glove, to almost run straight at the base runner to tag him as quickly as possible, as opposed to holding your ground right in front of the plate or the bag.
Yeah, lunge it, jive him, kind of tackle him and tag him all in the same motion.
Right. Because what we see more often than not is on slow-mo, the glove goes near the base or home plate, kind of sits there waiting for the runner to slide in, and then there's another body part that's coming around the glove to get in safely.
And the other thing we've seen, because guys have been so creative with avoiding tags, is base runners doing that when it would be better off just going directly into the base. That was the case with Addy the other night in Pittsburgh.
3-2 on its way. Bodie with a high fly ball out of the deep right center. Back at the wall. Caught. Margot pulled it out of the vines. Bodie continues to swing a hot bat, but he's 0 for 2 in the game. He has blistered a couple. 1-0 Cubs. JD, you wondered When will be the Miller Lite hold true moment? We've got it. Cubs get a double play to get out of the top of the 5th, and then Mike Montgomery on a fielder's choice giving the Cubs the lead.
Yeah, just put it in play with 2 strikes. He made a little contact. That's been the continuing theme here with the Cubs. Good things happen when you put it in play. A sleight of hand by Contreras.
So 1-0 on just 2 hits. Head RBI belongs to the pitcher. His first of the season.
The double play he induced. So with Myers up there, a very dangerous hitter. An inning that looked like it would be easy. You know, 8-9-1 as a pitcher, you always think, well, that should be an easy inning. But Erlin, the pitcher, got a knock. Margot followed with a hit of his own, and all of a sudden you had that gulp moment. Uh-oh. The guy's on for a power threat. He made a big pitch, got the double play.
By the way, could you have a better 0 for 2 than David Bodie has had tonight?
Yeah, think about his night. The line drive just over his glove, just missed. The shot down the line that he dove for just missed. 2 rockets that turned into outs.
The 0-1 to Renfroe, taken for a strike.
Renfroe last year got his first significant playing time at the big league level, hit 26 home runs. Jesse Chavez.
Ground ball backhanded neatly by Rizzo. He's going to have to take it himself, and he just beat Renfroe as Montgomery got over there late and just told Anthony, that's on me. Renfroe with a very awkward landing as he lunged toward the bag. He's fortunate he didn't get hurt, and he kind of started to break it down.
Nice pick. Kind of looked like a scrambling quarterback on a broken play. Braves lead the Mets 4-2, top of the 9th in New York. Marlins lead the Phils 2-1, bottom of the 8th in Philly. Philly's a half a game better than Atlanta entering play tonight.
Who wins the East?
Oof. Well, let's start by saying I don't know. And I have no real strong conviction. Any one of those 3 clubs could win. I wouldn't be at this stage of the game, wouldn't be surprised if any one of those 3 clubs won. Without breaking down their remaining schedules, home road and who they play and all that stuff that I would really need to do to have an informed opinion, I'll just go with the Phillies.
Okay. We'll still have series against all 3 of those teams. They have not yet played the Nationals. Two on Eric Hosmer. Tight.
Are you still bullish on the Nats?
Yes. I just have this feeling they're going to go on a run.
Looking like it the last 3 or 4 days.
He walked him. So for Mike, that's his first walk of the evening. He's got 2 strikeouts. Those came early. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of get the sense that
At the
do a big run.
At the beginning of the year, we had this conversation in spring training, and you asked which team do you think is most likely of all the teams to win their division, and I thought the Nationals. I thought they win that division easily.
Chavez in, Montgomery out. Mike pulled in the go-ahead run, and he's got a chance for a win. 1-0 in the 6th. Now for the BioFreeze call to the pen, official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. It's Jesse Chavez.
Well, Jesse's been just outstanding since joining the Cubs. Overall, he's having a nice year, 3-1 with a .303 earned run average. 65 in the 3rd innings. He's walked just 13 while striking out 60. Makes perfect sense to make this move here. We mentioned the splits on Villanueva last time he was up there. He's been really good against lefties and not very good at all against right-handed pitching.
One-0 pitch. Villanueva swings and misses. 1-1. Hosmer at first. 1 out, 6th inning. Padres have had the advantage in terms of base runners, but the Cubs lead the game 1-0. Bottom of the zone fastball. It's 1-2.
Jesse in a Cub uniform has worked 9 shutout innings so far.
In 2012, he was a Blue Jay and an Athletic. 2016, Blue Jay and a Dodger. 2018, a Ranger and a Cub. So this is nothing new for him. 2010, in the Wayback Machine, he was a Brave and a Royal. So he's had seasons like this fairly frequently.
I haven't had a chance to dig in on the body art yet. Has to be a story. I'm digging the shades too.
Signature look.
It's a man who's comfortable in his own skin, because you know you're going to take some grief from the other dugout. Go out there pitching at night with sunglasses on.
If only he were facing Corey Hart. Inside, it's full. Got to imagine Andy Green will have Hosmer on the go here to avoid a double play. And almost got him on the back elbow.
may be influenced by the throw that Contreras made earlier. There he goes. So many factors go into it. A decision like this for a manager: is the guy in the mound a fly ball pitcher, ground ball pitcher? Is he going to challenge the zone where you can count on contact, or is he going to try to get you to chase something moving off the plate? Jesse typically is on the plate and down, at least a little bit we've seen of him in these situations. So that would put the runner in go mode.
There goes, bounced foul. And as Gary Pressey earlier played get back to where you once belonged. Aimed at Eric Hosmer.
Too bad it wasn't Mark Loretta.
Well, Mark does work for the Padres, so by association it works. Hosmer running and a base hit. Broken bat flare. Hosmer to third. And a big at bat coming up now for Austin Hedges. First and third, one out.
Yeah, good battle there, and despite his troubles against right-handed pitching, this time Villanueva wins the battle. Ball not on the ground. Soft line drive off the end of the bat into shallow right. So not only do they stay out of the double play, they go first and third. Hedges having a nice night with a couple of hits. He was swinging it well when we were in San Diego.
Pulled deep to left, way back in the corner, and it's gone. Austin Hedges with a go-ahead 3-run homer, and he's 3 for 3 tonight. And Chavez dented for the first time.
Yeah,
as a Cub.
He had been so good. Started with a 1-out walk to Hosmer. That run will be charged to Mike Montgomery. The other two will go on Jesse's ledger. A sinker moving down and in, and Hedges cuts it off. And doesn't let him in there. Foot down and barrel out in front. Little lean back and watch it fly. That's your Ford home run replay. Number 7 for the Padre catcher.
There wasn't much doubt about that one. A team that does not hit a ton of home runs. Only their 94th of the season. They're near the bottom of the majors in that category. One in the 6th. 1-2 to Galvis. Stands well off the plate. You could put Anthony Rizzo in front of him in the box. There's that much room. Is over. 2 outs.
Check out the variety of luxury premier options that Wrigley Field has to offer, like the Dell EMC Legend Suite, which includes an all-inclusive suite experience, and best of all, a visit from a former Cub player. Visit Cubs.com/premier for an option that fits your needs.
The Steve Pearce statue ceremony in Boston will take place on Sunday.
What do you do?
He's got 3 homers tonight.
Oh my.
Red Sox lead the Yankees 14-5 in the 7th. 2-1 on Perella. Good swing and a miss. Full count. Pop fly right center. And will come down in the glove of Jason Hayward. So the Cubs trail for the first time tonight, 3-1.
We welcome you back here to Wrigley with this Miller Lite game report. And for the first time in over 2 weeks since going on the DL, Brandon Morrow picked up a baseball and did some light throwing this afternoon. He said it from about 60 feet. He felt really good, maybe around 30 pitches, guys, but he'll wait and see how his arm feels tomorrow and is hoping to do some catch again later this week. But I thought it was pretty funny when asked if there might be a silver lining to get some of this rest here, feel better down the stretch, and he said, you know what, there's never a silver lining to being on the DL. You just make one up. But right now, he is feeling better.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Travis Jankowski in for Will Myers in left. Carlos Asuaje replacing Perella, and Jose Castillo, a left-hander, now on the mound.
And he's 22 years of age. Big kid with a good arm, 95-mile-an-hour heater.
I'm curious about Myers coming out.
Yeah, it's a little early to go for defense.
Two and one to Rizzo. Just got hit.
Breaking ball and didn't take the break. Smoked on the wrist of the heater the other night. This time a breaking ball at the back of the arm. It's a little friendlier.
Well, Mora is due to get hot again. Going through probably his worst stretch of the season. He hasn't had many. 0 for 2 this evening. And a pitch on the outside edge. 0-2 on Albert. Well, set up with Ben Zobrist the other day. When you're cold, it's 0-2 every at bat. When you're hot, it's 2-0, and Albert strikes out.
Yeah, he's definitely pressing. You can see it. Hey, Chicago, where do you play? Tee up at Black Wolf Run in Kohler, Wisconsin. Glacier carved and Pete Dye designed to play 4 of Golf Digest top 100 public courses, including Whistling Straits, home of the 2020 Ryder Cup.
Hayward, the batter, 1 for 2. The final, Braves beat the Mets 4-2. Phillies batting in the bottom of the ninth, trailing 2-1 at home against Miami. There are 2 teams in Major League Baseball as Justin Wilson gets loose without a series sweep over another opponent. The Marlins and the Padres. Slider in there. It's 1-2. Steele was on the DL about 3 weeks with a right hamstring strain this most of July.
We were trying to get to time just before that pitch was delivered. Fortunately, it was out of the zone. But the 3 spot the Padres put up there, Robbie Erlin has a chance to be a winning pitcher, and certainly was good tonight. 5 innings, 2 hits, a run. He struck out 4, walked just 1.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. So back-to-back punch outs after the leadoff walk to Rizzo, and it'll bring up Baez. His 3rd turn. Well, you would have had the other Jose Castillo briefly in Houston at the end of his short, but at one time a promising major league career.
Kid that started with the Pirates.
Former infielder, played for the Pirates, the Giants, and the Astros. Jose Castillo out of Venezuela. He's 37, and you know what? He's still playing.
Where is he?
Well, he played in Japan. He's played in Mexico. And he did play winter ball in Venezuela. So still playing baseball, just he's been out of the big leagues for 10 years.
I saw something today that said that Rick Ankiel is contemplating a comeback attempt.
It was a charity event or something, right?
It was one of those,
struck out somebody.
Yeah, one of the kind of a summer league deal. A few ex-major leaguers playing in it.
Was in Johnny Bench?
Johnny Bench was the manager. I think Corky Miller is on the club.
We should start the senior league again.
Yeah, how long did that last?
Maybe a couple of winners. Yeah. Two. Got him. So Castillo striking out 3 in a row after hitting Rizzo, and it's 3-1 Padres after 6.
Ticket holder waiting list today to claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Left-hander Justin Wilson making his 48th appearance. And it'll be Travis Jankowski, who just came in to play left field for Will Myers to lead it off. We don't know if Myers left due to injury or just was taken out for defense, but we'll find out. Maybe there's a band he wants to see at Lala tonight.
Could be the Street Gypsies.
Bodie way in at third. Jankowski runs well. 1-1 on him. And Strom, a college teammate of David Bodie, up in the Padres bullpen. Fouled away.
Montgomery certainly did his piece tonight. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 1 run, a couple of punch outs and a walk. First pitch strikes to 16 of 22 batters.
Lofted out in the center. Long run in. Almora had to put it into second gear to go get it. Margot 2 hits. 2 for 3 with a caught stealing.
They're underway out in LA. Dodgers lead 2-1 in the third. Jock Peterson with a first inning home run.
Shallow right, and a 3-hit evening for Margot. Jake Lamb of the Diamondbacks done. He's going to have left shoulder surgery. Diamondbacks recently acquired Eduardo Escobar from Minnesota, so I don't think word had really gotten out about Lamb's health before they made that deal.
When they were here, remember, he was there was some talk that he was hurting, but there wasn't anything specific. And that's smart. Tip your hand to the other clubs. Your need is greater than they might think.
Pablo Sandoval has a torn right hamstring, so he's out for the rest of the season.
Johnny Cueto was due to have surgery today, right?
I believe that is the case. Playoff schedule has been released. Looking at a possible October end to the World Series for the first time since 2014. Game 7 would happen on October 31st, assuming no postponements. 2 balls and a strike on Carlos Asuaje. He had a big series against the Cubs in San Diego. I believe he walked maybe 4 or 5 times in that series. but I will let you know exactly how many. He took 4 walks and went 4 for 7. 3 and 1.
Yeah, and here he's in a hitter's count again, and obviously he doesn't. I shouldn't say obviously, but I'd say this: he has never hit for power, so he's the kind of guy you want to attack.
Soaring fly ball that will be caught by Almora for out number 2, and here comes Renfroe. Did you mention Justin Turner's back?
We were talking about him last night.
He is in the lineup.
Due to be back
for the Dodgers tonight. Big blow in this game. Austin Hedges with a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. Skip Schumacher, the first base coach, helping out Margot.
Matt Carpenter was named Player of the Month for the National League. If I were to say to you J-Ram, do you know who that is?
My first guess would be Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. He was the American League Player of the Month.
Is he having another MVP type year?
He is. Quite a fine ball player.
Yeah, would you say maybe, I would know, most underrated would be fair, but best player we don't talk about enough?
Yes.
He's got an OPS of 1,040. Leads the majors in homers. And tied for the American League lead in stolen bases.
Yeah, I mean, he does it all. He's a really good defender.
Power speed number, right?
Yeah.
He's got 70 walks and only 51 strikeouts. Oh, man.
They're making an announcement on Will Myers now, a contusion of some sort.
So it's got to be Mookie Betts and Jose Ramirez, probably, right? Mike Trout always a part of that discussion over in the AL. Wow, that's a fun one. The American League MVP race. (3-2) on Renfroe. Margot walk the second as Renfroe takes a free pass.
Well, didn't want to give in there to a dangerous right-handed hitter. Now he'll deal with the lefty hitting Hosmer.
So you wonder, with 3 more games in this series, if that foot issue, a left foot bruise for Will Myers, will have an effect on him the rest of the weekend.
Got to throw J.D. Martinez into that American League MVP conversation as well.
Yeah. And just taking a very quick look at all their lines, but it's all MVP worthy. And my hunch is Trout won't win it because it's always expected.
Yeah,
he actually gets dinged for being consistently great every year.
Yep. And they don't win. The writers tend to lean towards guys on winning clubs. Probably would be justified if Trout had been an MVP every year he was in the league.
Yes. The runners thought about it and then hit the brakes.
And he's won one, is that correct?
Mike Trout has won, I think, a couple. 2014 and 2016. So starting in 2012, his first full season. This is the ranking in the MVP voting. Second, first, fourth.
Fourth.
Finished fourth last
Slacker.
year. Led the majors in OPS. He only played 114 games. There's a base hit. Margot around third. Could be a play on him. The throw is up the first base line. And the Padres add a run. It's 4-1. Eric Hosmer with an RBI hit, and he's got a 9-game hitting streak.
Yeah, well, they had the lefty-lefty matchup, but it didn't matter to Hosmer. Boy, real nice swing. Stayed in on that ball. Shoulder closed. A little bit of an extra crow hop there from Albert. I think he got a little bit out of sync at the throw. Well offline.
It was a big add-on run for San Diego. This has not been a good offensive club, but it has been tonight. They have 11 hits. They got the big 3-run homer from Hedges in the 6th. And the Padres are trying to end a 7-game losing streak. To Villanueva, hooked in the air to deep left, over his hat. He'll run it down. That saved at least another run. Time for our 7th inning stretch, brought to you by St. Xavier University. Mr. Cobb on the big board.
Your attention to the outfield video boards.
He's left-handed. He's pitching for the 23rd time, and he's been good. A 2.50 earned run average, a strikeout per inning. Batting just 175 against him. Future maybe as a starter right now. Working out of the pen. He has made a few starts. 5 to be exact.
Swing and a miss by Contreras.
Castillo was most impressive with 3 punch outs after hitting Rizzo to get the 6th inning started.
Hosmer. 1 away. Cubs held so far to 2 hits. Ryan Dunsing in the Cubs bullpen. So David Bodie, an 18th round pick by the Cubs, 2012. Neosho County Community College in Kansas. Matt Strom, same draft, 21st round out of Neosho. That's a good draft for that school, huh?
I'll say so, yeah.
A couple of big leaguers. Popped up on the bunt by Happ and back over the screen. There it comes, and it's hit on the ground to the shortstop. Charging in is Galvis, and he'll sidearm it over for the out.
Strom, wiry, 6'3", 185. He's 26 years of age. He's from West Fargo, North Dakota. So that, yeah, you guys come out on Fargo. Roger Maris is from North Dakota, I think. Bodie, Strom, and Paul Lindblad out of Neosho County Community College. Lindblad had a long major league career, 65 through 78.
Maris went to Bishop Shanley High in Fargo, North Dakota. He was born in Hibbing, Minnesota. In terms of the state that has supplied the fewest major league players, I want to say Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming or
Alaska. I think Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, Schilling was born in Alaska.
From Alaska, yeah. Well, then you have the from a state or born in a state. According to Baseball Reference, 12 big leaguers born in Alaska. Fouled off by Russell. Tom Browning was born in
Casper
in Wyoming. So let me find out.
Art Howe too.
He's from Wyoming. I better do it fast as the inning ends. Yeah, 16. So yeah, a lot of guys. A whole team's worth of players born in Wyoming. 4-1 Padres after 7. Narvaez moves from second to short. And the new pitcher is Brian Dunsing.
Follows Chavez and Wilson out of the Cubs bullpen. Wilson allowed 1 run on 2 hits in 1 inning of work. Well, nobody's been able to get Hedges out tonight. Maybe Brian can pull it off.
So Baseball Almanac, this is not exhaustive by any stretch. Place of birth, the states with the fewest: Alaska, Wyoming, North Dakota. We mentioned all 3 of those.
Delaware.
30 in Idaho. States where you'd expect a lot of big leaguers to come from. California, over 2,000.
Yeah, that's number 1, right?
I believe so.
California, Florida, Texas, Arizona, something like that.
Pennsylvania, 1,400.
There's a veteran right-hander, Stamen.
They have a fast fact on baseballalmanac.com. Jose Canseco was the first foreign-born player from Cuba to reach the 400 home run plateau. You know who the first foreign-born player was to reach 500? Hedges with a high fly to left. This one's going to stay in and be caught by Happ. Ponder that question.
Okay.
I'll give you this. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $59.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
I'm going to go with Rafael Palmeiro.
No, but these guys would have played together.
He would have played with Palmeiro?
I'm pretty sure.
Palmeiro was born in Cuba too, right?
Let me see here if they played together. I think they did. Maybe at 2 stops. Sammy Sosa. Fair ball for Galvis. Good hop for Happ, but Galvis will have a double.
Yeah, well played out there by Ian. Got to it in a hurry. Speed really is a plus out there in that left field. A lot of times you're kind of more of a slugger type player, but Happ has center fielder's speed. He plays the carom just perfectly. Quickly gets rid of that ball, but to no avail. He's really playing well lately defensively. Threw a man out at home plate 2 nights ago. Made a tremendous diving catch in center field last night.
A.J. Ellis pinch hitting. Last thing on major league players born in different states, over 1,000 born in Illinois. So Illinois crushing it in terms of the Midwest. Michigan over 400. Now into left center, and the Padres will add to their lead again. Here's Galvis scoring. Back-to-back one-out doubles. 5-1 here in the 8th.
Boy, it's just been a really tough go for Brian. Joe's talked about it in recent days. He's really trying to get him going, giving him some opportunities to get into a rhythm. It just has not panned out here of late. Back-to-back 2 baggers to extend the lead.
Jankowski takes low. Tyler checks in on Twitter. So do you think the Pennsylvania numbers have anything to do with the Little League World Series? I don't know. A good question.
No, I think it's probably more population driven. And I think, you know, back in the early days of baseball, obviously before the country really expanded, everybody pretty much was born in the eastern part of the country.
So if we broke it down state by state and maybe decade by decade, we're saying that maybe
I think you'd find it
a lot of
proportionally
early
a lot
baseball,
more New York,
Major
Pennsylvania.
League players were born in that part of the country, sure.
In the early days, yeah. A lot of guys, West Coast guys, used to play in the PCL and sometimes would turn down opportunities to play in the major leagues to stay out in California and play in the Pacific Coast League.
Base hit. Ellis was headed back towards second on that liner, so he'll only advance to third. 3 consecutive hits. Well, and that may sound crazy, but back in the first half of the last century, you know, the money, it wasn't that big a difference in some cases.
Yeah, and in some ways, the PCL was considered the 3rd major league. Because there were so many, you know, that area was growing. There was a lot of talented ball players. Joe DiMaggio played in the PCL. I believe he had a 61-game hitting streak when he was in the PCL. The great lefty O'Doul.
Baez bobble, but they get one, and that's it. The throw goes into the dugout as LaStella got knocked over by Jankowski, and another run is in. So it should be an RBI for Margot on a fielder's choice and a throwing error on LaStella, allowing him to go to second.
Yeah, Tommy probably should have just hung on to that one after the bobble.
Ellis to score. I think I said Jankowski.
Yeah, but you know, it's hard. Tommy hasn't had a lot of starting assignments in the field. He hasn't been out there a whole lot. He's used primarily as a pinch hitter, and this is not to make an excuse. I guess it kind of is. We talk so much about the internal clock that a player has. Well, it's obviously easier to keep that clock fine-tuned if you're in the field a lot, less so when you're not.
Well, Swahe, a 6-1 ball game. Strike one. On the hands, and a little dribbler hit out to LaStella. And that will end the Padres' 8th, but they add 2 to their lead. It's 6-1 late.
had a nice year. I mentioned Kirby Yates, a guy who will probably get most of their save opportunities going forward. Stayman, among a number of guys out there in that bullpen, is having a good year. He's a veteran, been around a long time.
First plate appearance for La Stella. Came in to play second base in the top of this inning. Dodgers are blowing up the Brewers tonight, 7-1 in the bottom of the fourth. A rough go for Jhoulys Chacín, and the Brewers, if they want to come back, they'll have to do it against Clayton Kershaw. Winds and throws, and Stella went around, so he strikes out on the swing, according to Shane Livensparger.
So the two-seam grip, the running action with a little sink. That's enough of a commit from La Stella. Stella having a real nice year in the strikeout department. Career strikeout rate 19.2%. This year 28%. Walks are way down.
Belated happy 89th birthday wishes to Jack Kramer. He comes to Wrigley almost every night. He's from Hanover Park. Hope you had a good one, Jack. Galvis, and he beats Bodie. Hefty home run leaders for the Cubs. They've got a 6-game homer streak on the line. So a little inside baseball, discussing the state-by-state numbers. It's a bit of an art, not a science, when we talk about the background of a particular player. You can go with the city in which a guy was born, and then there's the he's from, right? I don't know what city you were born in, but you're from Messina, right? That's your hometown. Is that where you were born? Okay, so I was born in Mount Pleasant, but that's not really my hometown. So you kind of have to fudge it on occasion. Anthony Rizzo was born in Fort Lauderdale, but he's from Parkland, Florida. So when push comes to shove, and if a guy's from that area, he's born in one city, but he went to high school in the other, I tend to go with the high school city and say that's where he's from, as opposed to the city in which he's born. Most kids are not born in their house, and a few are, but you actually have to leave your home and go to the hospital. So just keep that in mind when we say this guy's from wherever. He may not have been actually born there, but. And then where it gets really tricky is where a guy is born in Missouri He goes to high school in Texas, and then you try to figure out, okay, when did the family move there? Was he 16?
Yeah.
Was he 4?
Yeah.
If he was a
formative
young
years
kid,
there.
then you'd say he's from Texas, even though he was born in Missouri.
Rob Zastryzny, right?
He was born in
Canada.
Canada.
But he was a baby when he moved to Texas.
Right, so he's a Canadian citizen. But you'd say he's from Texas. Galvis will throw to first late. Rizzo with an infield hit.
And no doubt a little extra push from Anthony going down the line there to make sure he got that base hit, because Freddie Galvis can really play. This is pretty. All in one motion, comes to a stop, and Anthony just pushes it. He can sniff that hit. Don't you take that knock away from me, Freddie Galvis. I hit a bullet for an out first time up. Yeah, if you like to play around on Baseball Reference, and you can dig into places of birth, some of the obscure ones. There's one player born in Afghanistan. My favorite,
Jeff Bronke,
at sea. The guy was born Eddie Porray, P-O-R-R-A-Y. He played in 1914. Was born at sea.
Oh, I love it. Who's the guy from Afghanistan? Is it Jeff Bronke?
I don't know. Let's let me go back here. You are correct. So, military kid or son of a diplomat or something.
Margot to end the inning. To the ninth, all Padres so far this evening, 6-1.
Sports Chicago. It'll be game 2 of this series. Jose Quintana will pitch. Tyson Ross will work for the Padres. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live, or if you're stuck at work, you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app.
Get well wishes to Joel Feaster in Auburn, Indiana, watching us tonight. Dunsing back out for the ninth, facing Hunter Renfroe.
Joel Feaster Famine.
Actually spelled like the hotel in Milwaukee, T-F-I-S-T-E-R, but pronounced Feaster. Ground ball to third. Picked up by Bodie. One away.
The Jack Feaster that played for the Cubs. A really good pitcher back in their heydays back in the early 1900s. Three Fingers Brown and Orville overall in that gang.
Strike to Hosmer. Extended his hit streak to 9 with an RBI hit in the 7th inning. Lions 0-2. Slider is low and outside. Right back at it tomorrow afternoon.
There will be those that will say, well, the Cubs are just taking the Padres for granted. They're last place club. They're playing down to their competition. Yada, yada, yada. I think it's just baseball being baseball. Robbie Erlin set the tone. He was really good. Giants D-backs 1-1, top of the 4th. A couple of good resumes working in that one. Madison Bumgarner, Zach Greinke.
Jam shot. Ground ball to Rizzo. He's been busy tonight as he gets it to Dunson. So 2 outs.
Yeah, Mike Montgomery got his share of balls on the ground. That's what he does best. He had 10 ground balls tonight. Punched out a couple, 5 1/3 of 1-run ball. So that's the good news for the Cubs. A nice bounce back start for Montgomery. And the other good news is the Brewers are down 5 to the Dodgers.
Villanueva takes a curveball. It's a strike.
Cardinals beat the Rockies 3-2. Pirates are idle.
So they're tied, same record. 3rd place, 56 and 53, and the Cardinals head to Pittsburgh, where they'll face Chris Archer tomorrow night. Man, he said all the right things, didn't he?
Yeah.
Had the Steelers jersey.
He had a Steelers jersey?
Yeah, when he showed up, he was wearing. No swing by Villanueva.
You have some.
Oh, he had an Antonio Brown jersey on when he showed up. Everything. I mean, it just.
Call everybody a Yinzer.
the news
How Yinz
conference
doing?
Couldn't have gone better. That will be a base hit. That's the way the night has gone. And the Padres, who haven't had a lot of nights like this lately, continue to hit. They've got 15 in this game.
Yeah, some hard, some not so hard, like that one. Nationals beat the Reds 10-4. Max Scherzer picking up his 15th win. Punched out 10 in 6 innings, allowed 2 runs. Trey Turner hit a home run. was 14th. Bryce Harper hit number 26. I think the idea that Bryce Harper is having a terrible year is being overplayed. He's not having a great year.
Well, he hasn't been terrible. He's not hitting for average,
right.
but he's still walking and hitting home runs.
Yeah, the 377 on base, 492 slugging percentage.
It's OPS plus 123. Yeah, not bad for a horrible year. You know, his OPS this year is only 40 points off his career mark. And we saw Matt Carpenter, as Hedges walks, get off to that dismal start and then all of a sudden got hot. You know, Harper could have one of those 2 or 3 week stretches where the batting average is 250, OPS in the 900s. And finish with 30+ home runs, over 100 walks. Two on, 2 out, 9th inning. 0-2 on Galvis.
Phillies scored 4 in the bottom of the 9th to walk off the Marlins.
Wow.
Kyle Franco with the game-winning home run off Kyle Bearclaw.
And what's the song Harry's singing on the board?
High hopes.
Yeah, you gotta have high hopes. Cubs led this game 1-0 after 5. Padres grabbed the lead on the Hedges 3-run homer in the 6th, and they have continued to add on since.
Well, when last week convened here, the Cubs walked off the Diamondbacks in dramatic fashion. They've got a long way to go here tonight. Currently down 5 with 3 outs to go. Rather subdued crowd here tonight, as you might expect, with the home team only managing 3 hits. Another one for Riz.
3-2-1. It's 3-2-1. That wasn't counted down. Bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Cubs, trailing by 5. Austin Hedges, 2 singles, go-ahead 3-run homer and a walk, so 4 times on. Gets the award tonight. Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
QB in the house. He's got a souvenir. Here's Phil Maton looking for the 28th time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the earned run average. From this neck of the woods.
Hayward shows bunt. Takes ball 1. That's from Chatham, Illinois.
But born in Paducah, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
There you go.
Yeah. And then went to Louisiana Tech. Glenwood High in Chatham.
Got a brother playing in the Phillies minor league system and another committed to play at Coastal Carolina.
Margot for out number 1. Notable alums from that high school. Glenwood High, and Maton, and Jason Worth. A 1-strike pitch. Baez in the air. And harmless as Margot has it again. Starters to check that. Erlin, the pitcher of record for the Padres. Chavez for the Cubs. The tying run was charged to Montgomery.
It's not that far from being no hit here tonight. I think back on their 3 hits. Slow roller that Hayward hit off the end of the bat, flare from Russell, and an infield hit for Anthony.
Yep.
A real nice play by Galvis.
Well, that's the other thing about this game of baseball. There are some no-hitters where you get several hard hit balls, great defensive plays. You have other games in which you give up 2 or 3 hits like tonight, but not hard contact. And you could argue this has been a more dominating performance than some no-hitters that have been thrown. Kerry Wood gave up a hit in arguably the best pitch game ever. 20 strikeouts. Cubs had to scratch out their lone run on the excellent base running by Contreras in the 5th. They had to get an overturn on replay in order to get that run.
Well, they got one of the hottest hitters on the planet, on the bench tonight, Ben Zobrist. And one of the reasons why he's been so good is because Joe's been mindful of making sure he gets rest.
You know what he is? He is the hottest planet in the baseball solar system.
He's operating very close to the sun. Get down, ball.
That was a hard hit ball, but it's caught by Hunter Renfroe to end the ball game. And the Padres take the opener 6-1 with 3 more to go this weekend.
Well, tip of the cap to the Padres pitchers, Erlin and company coming out of the bullpen. They were outstanding tonight, just completely shut down the Cubs offense.
So for J.D. Kelly and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew here at Wrigley Field, headed by Mark Brady, John Walsh, and Tamara Anderson, Len Casper with your final. Padres 6, Cubs 1. We're back with you tomorrow, 12:30 for our pregame coverage. First pitch at 1:20. Padres and Cubs for Game 2. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois postgame live is next.